Alright, this is my second gameplay video for Dungeoneer Vault of the Fiends. The first video I only used half of the cards that came in the set. For this video and game 3, which will come out soon, I am going to use all the cards that came in the set. Now, what's going to make this interesting is I haven't looked at the other half of the cards. So I hope there aren't any tricky ones. I hope I can understand them pretty well. I may rely on viewers to leave comments and correct me how I play some of these, but we'll see. Now, the whole set came with 6 heroes, and last video we saw the Illusionist and the Shaman go at it. This time we're going to choose 2 at random from these 3 heroes. And then in my next video, we'll use the 2 that have not been used yet. So the first one is Grog Nordum. It's a Human Beastmaster, and that's what Grog looks like. That's pretty cool. Alright, so he starts good in speed, and by level 3, his melee matches. Alright, so he starts with 6 health. He can have up to 3 treasure cards and 2 boon cards in inventory maximum. And his special ability is to control fiends, which is going to come in great because most of the monsters in this set are fiends. As a response, so during combat, pay glory equal to the peril value of 1 fiend attacking you. That fiend attacks another hero or a monster of your choice in the same space instead, or ignores you if there are no other fiends or heroes. Limit once per turn. Oh man, that's gonna be great. And it only costs 1. Oh no, 1 glory per peril point. Alright, so we'll see how that one goes. And the other one is Shara Quickblade. It's an elf assassin. And there she is. Okay. She starts with speed as her best, but by level 3, it looks like melee is how she's going to want to attack. And level 2, she's tied on melee and speed. So not much magic as far as these guys using for combat. She also starts with 6 hit points, and she has a maximum of 2 treasure cards and 3 boon cards in inventory. And of course, being an assassin, her special ability is Assassinate. Pay 1 glory to add +1 melee to an attack, and inflict 1 additional wound if successful. Limit once per turn. Wow. Yeah. Now let me see. Pay 1 glory to add +1. Awesome. I was wondering if the more glory I pay, the more bonus I would get. But I think it would say something towards that, like for each glory you pay, add 1. But this says just pay 1 and add 1. So that's how we're going to play that card. Okay, so we've got the Beastmaster versus the Assassin. Boy, sounds cool. So we're going to set up their starting health. He is level 1, and she is also level 1. Okay, now we'll give them their starting movement points, which is equal to their starting speed bonus. Both of them have 2. Okay, now let's go up to the map. Now the map, I already have started with the vault entryway, and if you watched the last video, you'll see this says you may not initiate a challenge on a hero here. You may pay 2 glory to discard a personal hero quest and draw 1 new one. All 4 directions are open, and they gain 1 peril and 1 glory point when they enter that space. Now to start the map, I've separated all the passage cards, and that's all of these. So let's mix these up real good. We're going to draw 4 to attach to each of the 4 sides of the entryway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we've got those 4. Now what I'm going to do is shuffle these passages, mix these into the rest of the map deck, which was just a bunch of rooms. So let's do this real quick so the map deck will be ready for us for our build phases, phase 3 on each turn. Alright, I think that's going to do it. Alright, so we'll set those off to the side. Now let's take a look at the 4 passages. First one, we got a regular turn, 2 peril, 1 glory. And again, if you just look at the theme of this Vault of the Fiends, a lot of vegetation and growth, a lot of green. Okay, so the top and right are blocked, so we're going to have to put this either at the top or here. We'll just start it like that. Go off to the side. Next we have a corner, which is just the opposite of the turn. 2 peril, 1 glory, but this one is the bottom and the right side. So we'll put that here. Okay, the next passage is an intersection. It's kind of a T, and it's 2 peril, 1 glory. I have played this before. And nothing special about this. It's a regular passage. Now, we cannot put it at the bottom because this wall here, so we'll have to put this one up here. And hopefully this one fits at the bottom, which it does. This is a grim passage. Traps here require +2 to their threat for you to succeed on a trap. 3 peril, 2 glory, and you cannot go out the right side, but the other 3 sides are open. So we'll put that right there. And that is our starting map. Now, as always, I have 2 figures. Don't mind what they look like. These are not the classes represented on the cards. These are just by color. So in this case, this one's going to be the Beastmaster, and this one's going to be the Assassin. So let's put them on the start at the vault entryway, the vault entrance. Now, because they've entered the vault, they begin with 1 peril each and 1 glory each. Okay. Now, what are they doing? What are their objectives? That's what we're going to find out now. All these quest cards. I've only seen half of these, so this could be interesting. All right, each hero gets 2 personal quests, and there's a 5th one placed as a global quest. So let's take a look, see what they're going to be trying to achieve here. So, the Beastmaster, the first one, he's going to be doing unsavory bargain. Now, this is a sacrifice. So he's going to try to find the transdimensional gate. Once there, he will discard 1 readied treasure card. And that's it. He's completed it. Now, if he doesn't have a readied treasure card, he can also take 1 wound, pay 5 glory, and collect 4 peril points. And that's that one. That also made an appearance in Game 1. Slay Cerberak. So this is a slay quest. Looks like a flying lobster ant. So we're going to look for a treasure chamber. And to complete the quest, basically just have to fight and defeat Cerberak. Now he only has 1 hit point, so that's not bad. And he uses magic with a +2 bonus. So really, this one isn't too bad. You just have to find that treasure chamber. Okay. Now the assassin, she will be trying to do this. The sunken treasure, it's an artifact threat. So she's going to be looking for a flooded chamber. To complete the quest, overcome threat using speed 6 or better while at the flooded chamber, adding +1 to the threat for each ready treasure you have. Each additional attempt uses 1 movement. So it sounds like the first attempt will be free. Now the problem with this one is every treasure card she has out in inventory, it's going to add a +1. Fortunately, she can only have 2 maximum, so we'll see how that goes. Sunken treasure. All right, and the last one, feed the ancient one. This is a threat. She needs to find the black cyst. To complete the quest, overcome a speed threat of 6 or better while you are at the black cyst. You get to add +2 to all attempts for each treasure you discard from your hand or inventory. Each attempt uses 1 movement point. And if she attempts this and fails, she's going to take a wound. Feed the ancient one. Okay, looking for the black cyst. Now, the global one that either one can do is slay the heinous fiend. This is a search and slay. To complete this quest, overcome the heinous fiend. And the heinous fiend only has 1 hit point. We'll be using melee with a 3 bonus, so that's not too bad. But first you have to find it. You have to roll a 7 or better while in any room, not passages, but it has to be a room. Add +1 to your roll for each space you are from the nearest entrance. Each turn requires a new search, and each search uses 1 movement point. All right, so these are pretty straightforward. I'm familiar with how all of those work. So we're off to a good start so far. Finally, we're going to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards to the Beastmaster, 5 cards to the Assassin. Then I'm going to bring out the big bead, and that tells us whose turn it is. So with that on the table, it's officially the Beastmaster's turn. Okay, there is no reset phase on the first turn for him. And she only has 1 peril. So let's see if there's anything he can play against her. And in this case, everything requires 3, so he cannot do a Dungeon Lord phase. So we go straight to phase 3, which is the build phase. He draws the Flooded Chamber already. Okay, 4 peril, 3 glory. Just can't go in the left side, but the other 3 are alright with a locked door at the bottom. Anytime you enter this space, overcome a speed threat 5 or better or take 1 wound. Add +1 to the threat for each readied treasure you have. So that sounds a lot like her quest here. So the green hero, is going to be trying to get to this location. So he wants to put this as far from her as he can right now, but I don't know, there aren't many options. So let's just go ahead and put this up there, the Flooded Chamber. All right, so he begins with 2 movement points. Let's see. I think since he doesn't have a room out yet that he needs, he's going to spend 1 point to do an exploration. And he discovers this corridor. Nothing special about it. 2 peril, 1 glory. And he's going to put this, I guess he'll put it way up here. Hopefully won't need to go quite that far away from the camera. All right, he has 1 movement left. He needs to move, so he gets some more glory points. Let's go ahead and spend his 2nd movement point to move into the Grim Fork. Now, if she throws a trap on him, the threat is increased by 2, but this is his best option as far as getting the most glory points. So he gets 3 peril and 2 glory, giving him 3 glory points to spend. Let's see what he has. All right, this Bana Soldier, he costs 4, so we can't even consider him. This is the only one he can do, Precision Attack. Now this is a maneuver. Your hero rolls 1 additional die in all melee attacks. Choose the highest. You know what? I really like that. And I've got to keep in mind, leave enough glory maybe to be able to fend off some of these monsters that she's going to throw at me. But for now, let's go ahead and pull this out. That's going to spend all 3. And that will, because that's a permanent, so it stays in his inventory. He can only have 2 boons, so that's the first one. And that's going to end his hero phase. He has to discard. We've got Janguba, a Fiendish Rager. What does that do? All monsters have +1. And then we've got Tortured Soul. So let's go ahead and get rid of this Bane. I've got 3 cards left, so I will draw 2, add them to my hand, and that will be his hand next turn. Alright, let's move this over. It is now the assassin's first turn. Now he has 4 peril, so that's what she's going to get to spend. Let's see what she has. Ooh, I like this gelatinous blob. Okay, it's a trap, and guess what? He is at a location where traps have +2 to their threat. So I think without even thinking, relocate a target hero in a room to any passage. She's going to do this gelatinous blob on him. So first of all, let's go ahead and spin 2 peril. Okay. Alright, let's see what this does. So it has a threat of 7, but because he's in this grim passage, it's actually a threat of 9. So he's going to roll against speed, and his speed right now is 2, and that's all he has. So he gets a 6. Definitely not the 9 that he was hoping for. That was a fail, so he's going to take 1 wound. Let's go ahead and knock that down to 5. Okay. And opponent discards a treasure of his choice. Alright, so let's take a look. He doesn't have any treasures out on the table. I don't know if you can discard from the table. I think you can from your inventory. This is the only one he has. So he's going to have to discard this. We'll look at this if I go to play it later, but it looks like it gives you a +1 to melee. Anyway. Alright, so the mercenary goes away. He sees this gelatinous blob. He's like, I'm out of here. So he takes off, and now, because he took a wound, he also gains a peril point. And that is all for the assassin's dungeon lord phase. So now she explores, and she finds this grim corner. 3 peril, 2 glory, and there's a pit with a test of speed. You have to get 7 or better, or you fall in the pit. Let's see. Let's put this. This needs to be somewhere. I'm just going to go way up here. Yep. We'll play that way at that end of the table, at the end of the map. And let's take a look here. She's got 2 points to spend, 2 movement points, and right now only 1 glory point. Let's get an idea of what kind of glory cards she has. Targeted teleport. Relocate your hero to any occupied passage. And if you initiate a challenge on the same turn, you collect 4 peril. So she could actually go there, but she'd just use a movement point for that. Alright. Boots of Planting. Your hero cannot be affected by warp type cards. So she could not be teleported or moved. Alright. And Cloak of Phasing. Pay 1 glory to treat any 1 exit, including wall, as if open. Do not collect peril and glory for the next phase you move into, and ignore its effect. Oh, that's cool. So you get to pass through any wall, or go to an adjacent spot. Alright, so the Flooded Chamber is one she needs, and it's out right here. So she's going to spend 1 point to move this way. And she's going to gain 2 peril and 1 glory. And then she will go ahead and spend her other movement point to move into the Flooded Chamber, where she gains a whopping 4 peril and 3 glory. Alright. Now let's see. I'm going to read this card again. Anytime you enter this space, overcomes speed of 5 or better, or take 1 wound. Add +1 to the threat for each readied treasure card you have. Alright, fortunately she has no treasure cards out yet. So she just needs to beat 5, and her speed is 2. Let's see if she can do this. 2 plus 2 is 4. She did not succeed. So she's going to take her first damage of the game. Alright. But fortunately, she is where she needs to be. Now let's see. Each additional. So she could actually test this if she wanted. To complete this quest, overcome threat speed 6 while in the chamber, adding +1 for each readied treasure you have. So right now, again, her speed is 2. She would need to get a 6. Is there any... Okay, there's no penalty for failure, so it's not like it's going to hurt her. But you know what she could do to help is go ahead and play one of these. She's got 5 glory points. So before she attempts that, she's going to play a treasure card. Boots or the cloak? Let's play this cloak. That may come in handier. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so she's going to pay 3. Takes her down to 2 glory. Now she's got this cloak of phasing, so that could help her big time if she, as the map gets bigger and more complicated. Okay, so she is going to attempt this now. She's got to get a 6, but she does get +1 now for each readied treasure card. So she gets +1, plus she has 2 bonus already, so she's going to get +3. So she needs a 3 or better. And she gets a 4. That's a 7. She just needed a 6. So that's a success. All right. So her bonus, her reward for doing that is she gains +2 to her speed stat, which will also give her an additional 2 movement each turn, because that's what movement is based on your speed stat. So instead of turning this over like I normally do for a completed quest, I'm going to leave it up like this just so I see, as a reminder, that she gets that +2 bonus to speed. Yeah, it's going to be fun trying to remember that. You know what, I'm going to put... I don't know. We'll just do that and see how that plays. All right, so since she completed the quest, that is the end of her hero phase. So now she must discard. Boots of Planting. Relocate a target hero in a room to any passage. Targeted teleport. Relocate your hero to an occupied passage. You know what? I'll just get rid of Ethereal Rip, which leaves 2 cards. So I will draw 1, 2, 3. And that is the end of her turn. So now we go over back to the Beastmaster. He gains his points back. Now she has 7 peril points already, so she did good, but she may pay for that now. She's got 7 points to spend. So we've got this monster, we could do that. A Tortured Soul, another monster, and an Impaloraptor, another monster. So he's got 7, can't quite do all 3, but I think we're definitely going to do this one. It's going to take a while for her to kill that. And inflicts 1 wound, and opponent must overcome that threat. Let's do... Her magic is 0, so I'm going to send this magic monster out. Okay, so he needs to spend 6 of her peril. That knocks down to 1. So let's see what this is. Assassinate. Pay 1 to add to a melee attack and inflict 1 additional wound if successful. Now she can do that once per turn. So if she wanted to, she could do that on this melee attack. I think she will. Okay. So he will attack with melee with a +3 bonus. So he gets a 3 + 3, which is 6. Okay, we'll put that down there. Now she is going to roll hers, and she pay 1 to add 1 + 1 to a melee attack. Okay, she's going to pay that, so she gets to add 1, and her melee bonus is only... Oh, wait. You know what? I just realized every quest I've seen in Tomb of the Lich Lord and this one so far they've always given a level as a bonus, or as a reward for completing quests. And that one didn't, so that kind of threw me. So she's still level 1. So anyway, she gets a +1 bonus to melee, and then she uses the other +1, so she gets to add 2 to this. And she only got a 1, so she got 3, whereas he was at 5. So let's see what he does to her. Inflicts 1 wound, and opponent is relocated to an adjoining space through any non-wall exit. Okay, so first of all, let's take the wound, and she's going to take 1 peril for being wounded. Let's see. And this will go into his pack area. Okay. Now she gets to be moved 1 adjacent space. Well, there's only one way she can go. Now when you get moved like that, you do not collect peril or glory or deal any special actions for that location. Alright, but you know what that does for her? And I just read this somewhere. She started here, so that's where both monsters attacked her. Well, she's been knocked out of the room, so guess what? This monster cannot attack her now. Now, if that's wrong, just let me know in the comments below. But that is how... Oh, wait a minute. It was attacking her. I moved the wrong figure. So that won't affect too much. She is going to get moved back here. Same thing, though. She was attacked here, or that's where the monsters came out. Now that she's not in the room, this Janguba cannot attack her. So we'll see what this does next time it attacks. So for now, it's just going to go in the pack with the other monster. Okay, so that is the end of the Beastmaster's Dungeon Lord phase. Now he's going to explore, build phase. That should be Fiends Hollow is what he finds. That's cool. Man, 4 peril, 3 glory. Cannot go in the bottom, just these 3. Anytime you enter this space, you must discard 1 card from your hand or inventory. Wow, Fiends Hollow. It's almost like something steals something from you without you knowing it. All right, where does he want to place this? Let's see if there's anything out that people are going to. The Black Cyst is not out. This is not out. Search any room. Let's put this just all the way up here. Where is it? We're going to put this all the way up here. Because I really don't want to go through that room if I don't have to with either of them, because we're going to lose a treasure item. Okay, so now it's his turn. See, that helps. He has no glory right now, so I don't have to worry about glory cards. But he is trying... Now, he could go for this global one. You can go to any room, but there aren't really any rooms close by. Let's use one of these points to explore. Let's see if he can find one of these rooms he's looking for. The turning chamber. Does anyone need that? Nope. Anytime a hero enters this space, you rotate it 180 degrees, which can really mess you up because these traps, there's 2 open doors and 2 trapped ones. There are 8. They're the toughest traps I've seen so far on a map card. And you gain 3 peril and 2 glory when you enter. So let's put this one. We'll put that right here. No, you know what? This is a room. So I want to put this room here because I could actually go here and try to do this quest. Let's slide that over. Okay, so that's where it's going to go. Now that was one of his points. Now let's see if this cost a point to attempt. Each turn requires a new search. Each search uses a movement point. So he could move there, but he will not be able to attempt the quest yet. But he'll be in place for next turn if nothing else comes up. So let's go ahead and do that. He's going to spend his final movement point. Now he's moving, and he collects 3 and 2. 3 and 2. Okay. Okay, but because he entered this card, this turning chamber turns 180 degrees. Now that's an 8 threat trap to get back out. Hope that doesn't hurt him in the long run. Okay, that's all he can do. He's out of points, but he has 2 glory points to spend. Is there anything here? And the only glory he has costs 3. So he needs to discard. Now this is great, this maneuver. It adds +1 melee and +2 against fiends. So I definitely want to hold on to this one. And since he already has 2 monsters in his pack, let's just get rid of this little one. I don't feel bad for discarding that. Okay, and since that only left 1 card in his hand, I draw 4 more. He's back up to 5. Let's go on over to the assassin's turn. Now he has 6 peril points for her to spend. Let's see what she can... Oh, she has no peril cards. Wow. Alright, so we go straight to the build phase, and she finds the Black Cyst, which is what she needs to complete her other personal quest. Alright, let's take a look at this. You can't go in the bottom, but all 3 the other directions are okay. You gain 3 peril, 2 glory when you enter the Black Cyst. Alright, so you may pay 1 movement point to place or remove a bridge token on the Fiery Chasm, or to place or remove a deactivated token on Transdimensional Gate. So what's cool about this one, it affects 2 other locations. And by being on this one, you kind of control those other 2 locations. The Fiery Chasm, there's a bridge that you can cross, so that affects that. And then the Transdimensional Gate, that allows you to go to grim passages anywhere on the map, and that affects that ability. But none of that matters because she just needs to get into this. So what's going to be the quickest way she can get to it from where she is? Probably this would be the best bet, because if I put it here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So either way. So that's where that's going to go, and that's where she's headed to complete this second personal quest. Now she still has 2 movement points left. Wait a minute. No, I forgot to reset for her, didn't I? Okay. So she actually has all 4, because she didn't have any Dungeon Lord cards. So she was in phase 3. So now she's in phase 4. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot to keep in mind. You just have to go slow through each turn to make sure you don't skip anything. All right. So she's going to spend 1 movement to come down into the flooded chamber. She gains 4 peril and 3 glory. And again, this says Anytime you enter this space, overcome threat 5 with speed or take 1 wound, add +1 to the threat for each readied treasure you have. Now in this case, this treasure is going to hurt her. So instead of threat 5, she's looking at threat 6. Now this is for speed, but she has +2, +4. So she will add 4 to this. Oh, it's 5. And she actually needed to get a 6. All right. So she's going to take 1 wound. Okay. All right. Boy, that flooded chamber. I'm going to have to remember that thing. This is the first time I've played with it. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. She's going to move once again into the intersection. So she's going to gain 2 more peril and 1 glory. All right. The black cyst is right there. She's going to spend 1 more to move here. She's going to gain 3 peril. 1, 2. Man, we're already using 2 beads. So she's up to 11, and then she's going to gain 2 glory. All right, but that could help her have not that much glory. Now let's take a look at this quest card. Wait, you may pay 1. Okay, so she's at the black cyst, but the other 2 locations aren't out, the ones that she can affect from there. So that doesn't come into play just yet. So this one is Feed the Ancient One. To complete this quest, overcome speed, threat 6 while you're on black cyst, add +2 to all your attempts this turn for each treasure card you discard from your hand. Each attempt uses 1 movement point, and you take 1 wound if you fail. She does have 1 movement point left. So let's take a look. Normally this would be 6 for each one I discard. Does she have? She's got 3 that she could actually discard. So let's think of, okay, what does she need right now? It's a threat 6, and it's speed, so she has a +4 already. So she only needs to roll a 2. The only way she could fail that is if she would roll a 1. But I think because I've got these 3 cards, I'm going to pick one. The gem, your hero has +1 magic. Okay. Anytime you may discard this card to prevent a wound, or your hero cannot be affected. I'm going to get rid of these boots. I'm going to discard that, and that will give me a +2. So I'm at 2, 4, 6, and I need a 6 to... She doesn't even have to roll a die, but she will. And she got a 1, so she got a 7, which is well over 6. So she is successful. She gains a heroic level, finally. She's up to level 2. She gains 1 glory point. So let's show that. There we go. And finally, she recovers 1 wound, which she really needed that. All right, and that is her 2nd completed quest. She's doing great. Oh, and since she completed a quest, that ends her hero phase. Oh, you know what? Each attempt costs 1 movement point. I forgot to spend the movement point. Okay. So she has no movement points left. And she can't spend any other points. So now she just has to discard. Let's see. Hide and shadow. Targeted teleport. Relocate your hero to any occupied passage. No monsters may attack you. Oh, I like that. Let's get rid of... Let's see. She has no magic. So that could really help that. And it's attachment, so it wouldn't go against her inventory limit. Let's get rid of the targeted teleport, I suppose. Now we're down to 3 cards, so she's going to draw 2. 1 and 2. All right. And that is the end of her turn. Okay. Back to the Beastmaster. Now, he gains all these back. do one thing at a time here. She has 11 peril points. Let's see what all he can do. Now he's got 6 points of monsters out there already. Fiendish Stunner. This is an attachment. Interesting. Attached monster gets +1 magic. Attached fiend also gains. Opponent is tipped if... That's interesting. But I think what I'm going to do, I've got 11 points, only 11 points. So I'm going to spend 9 of them. I'll knock her down to 2 peril. I'm going to throw all 3 of these at her. So what can she do? She cannot fight back. She can pay 1 glory to add +1 melee to an attack. And she can only do that once per turn. So which one would she do that on? It's definitely going to... It wouldn't be the magic. It would be... This one would make the most sense. Because she would also do 2 damage. And that could kill that thing. So she is going to... Let's go ahead and get that one out of the way. So this one is going to have a 3 bonus. So it gets a 6. Now she is rolling, and she is going to spend 1 glory to add +1 melee to her attack. And right now she's got a 3 bonus, so that gives her a 4 bonus. So she gets a total of 8, which definitely beats his 6. Alright, so it does 1 additional wound. That does 2 hit points. So this one is dead. Boy, she played that one really good. She assassinated it. So she is going to gain 8 and 9. Because if it's my understanding, you gain 1 glory for every wound you inflict. Since she did 2, she gets 2. If that's wrong, again, please leave a comment down below. Okay, let's do this magic one. He gets a +4 bonus, so he rolls and gets a 9. Now, again, she doesn't have any magic, so there's no way she gets a 4. So in this case, she is going to take a wound and gain 1 peril, and the tortured soul will go into his pack. Alright, Two Tail. Now this one's neat. To determine attack form, roll 1 die, because this one can attack either melee or magic. So let's roll and see if we get an even or an odd. That's an even, so it's going to attack with melee. Its melee bonus is 1. So wow, it gets a 2. Her melee bonus is a 3. Oh, she's already beat it. Barely. Okay, so she got a 4, so she actually did 1 damage, which was enough to kill it. So it's gone, and she gains 1 more glory. Wow. She is doing great in this game. Okay, so that is the end of his Dungeon Lord phase. There's nothing else to attack. So he is doing phase 3, which is the build phase. Oh, and here's that fiery chasm that she can affect being at the Black Cyst. Let's see, you gain 4 peril and 3 glory. You cannot go on the top or the bottom, so this is kind of the chasm with the bridge going across. When you enter this space on your turn, overcome speed threat 6 or take 1 wound. Probably from all that fire and heat. Unless this effect is deactivated with a bridge token. So that's what she can do. She can deactivate this by spending a movement point from the Black Cyst. So where does she want to put this? Does anyone need it? No one needs it. So she's just going to put this way up here, just out of the way. Yeah, we'll just do that. Or he. Gosh, it's the Beastmaster's turn. Okay, so he has 2 movement points to deal with. Let's see. Okay. He is going to... he's here. Oh, he was going to possibly do this. He was going to search. Okay, +1 for each space you are from the nearest entrance. Here's the entrance. 1, 2. He'll try it. It does require 1 movement. Each search uses 1 movement. So he's going to search, and he gets to add 2, and he needs to get a 7 or better. Ooh, he only got a 6. So he did not find the heinous fiend. There is no penalty to it, other than you have to search. He would have to search again. Each turn requires a new search. You know what? What's his bonus? He gets a +3 to melee, and he would get a +3 also, so it's even. He's going to try it once more. He's going to spend his last movement point, and again, he needs to get a 7 or better with a +2. Oh, he did it. He got a 5 +2, that's 7. So he found the fiend. Now the battle starts. He's going to be using melee combat with a +3. So it gets a 7. And if you remember, he has this maneuver that he learned. Your hero rolls 1 additional die in all melee attacks. Then I get to choose the highest one. So I'm going to roll mine, and I'll use the green one also, but they're both for him. He gets a +1 on melee. I thought this was a different card. But anyway, so this thing actually ended up with a 7. Yes. Ooh, so he has to get a 6 here, and that's just to do no for a draw. A 2 and a 2. All right. Well, that didn't really work out. The monster actually did 1 damage. Let's make sure that's all it does. Inflicts 1 wound. Yep. So that goes back out. And it inflicted 1 wound on him. So he is now at 4. And he gains 1 peril for being wounded. No, wait. No, he does not get that. Because that's a quest monster. That only comes from encounter monsters like this. Okay. So that he's spent all of his points. He has 2 glory left. Let's see if anything worth purchasing. The only thing he could get is this Cloak of Protection. Anytime you may discard this to prevent 1 magical wound. I don't know. At this point, I don't think that'd be worth it. So let's just get rid of this Fiendish Stunner for his discard. And he will draw 2 cards for his next turn. Alright. The Assassin. She regains all of her movement points. Oh, you know what? I forgot how long ago. Oh, just last turn. Whenever she gained a level, she now has 3 movement points and the bonus 2. So she actually has 5 movement points now. Wow. All right. Where is she? She's here. She's in a room, and this can be any room. Okay, but before we get that far, let's go ahead and take a look at this. 6 peril points. She has nothing in her pack right now. Let's see. Oh my gosh, nothing again. Wow, I feel like I'm doing something wrong there. Or I feel like she's doing something wrong. Okay, so she has no Dungeon Lord phase, so let's go ahead and do her build phase, she gets the trans-dimensional gate, which is funny because that's the other thing. That's the other location in the black cyst effects. Now with this one, you can't go in the bottom. 3 peril, 2 glory, and unless deactivated, which you deactivated the black cyst, you may pay 1 movement to relocate your hero to any grim passage. So that's an awesome like transportation method. Now that's a room. Let's put this here because she is going to try to slay this heinous fiend. What she is going to do, though, before she does, she's going to spend 1 movement to move into the trans-dimensional gate, which gives her 3 peril and 2 glory. Okay, so she has 12 glory now. Alright, so that's where she is. It's a room, so let's look at this again. Search any room, and you get a +1 for each space you are from the nearest entrance. And each search requires 1 movement. So she's going to go ahead and spend a movement to search for this thing. The reason I moved over 1 is because now she gets a 1, 2, 3 bonus instead of just 2, where she was. So she's going to roll this, add 3, and hopefully she'll get a 7 or better. She only got a 4. Alright. So she's going to search again. Again, she gets a 3 bonus. This time she gets a 9, which is definitely 7 or better. She has found the heinous fiend. Now, it attacks with a +3 on melee. So it gets, a 9. Worst case scenario. So she, though, is going to pay 1 glory. Down to 11. 1 glory to add +1 to a melee attack. So she does have that going for her. So she has a +1, and then she gets +3. So she gets to add 4 to this roll, which she still has to get a 9 or better. So +4, and she got a 5, which equals 9. So, man, it was a draw. No damage was dealt. All right. So how I'm going to play this. Oh, you know what? Okay. She has a movement left. So she's going to use that to fight back. Now, let's take a look here. His speed is 3. Okay. But if she uses speed, she's going to get a +5. She's using speed to attack back. Okay, so she rolls. She's going to get a +5 here. So here we go. 4 + 5 is 9. And this thing's going to get a +3 to its roll. And it gets an 8. She does 1 damage to it, which is enough to kill it, which is enough to complete her 3rd quest. Wow. Tell you what, she did good this whole game. I mean, she had that movement built up. She had so much glory. Just able to knock out her quests. And meanwhile, the Beastmaster, he's spinning around in that chamber. Couldn't find whatever. So that answers that. Between the assassin and the Beastmaster, we know the assassin can win now. So that was game number 2. Again, that included every card in the set, but we didn't see near all of them. So there will be a game 3 to use the final 2 heroes. I don't even know what they are yet. And hopefully we'll get to see even more new cards from Vault of the Fiends. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next video.